All right, back in the garage today. Today I am getting ready for a big trip to Utah, leaving in the morning, and got some new highway pegs. I found some that I really liked. I actually found a pair on a used KLR and thought, man, those are the coolest. That's what I want on my bike. And so searched high and low for them, found the actual foot pegs online, but they didn't have, I was looking for black mounts and black foot pegs, and they only had the black mounts. I found a store out in Portland, Oregon that had the black mounts, so ordered them. And a few days later, they said, oh, yeah, we don't have these. So why are they on your webpage exactly? But whatever. So I ended up having to get silver mounts with black foot pegs. Whatever, I guess there's issues. This time of COVID is weird for everybody. So whatever, it is what it is. I've got silver and black to go on to my 2015 Triumph Tiger Explorer. Today I'll be going with MFW. These are their pegs. And here is the silver mounts. So hopefully this won't be too hard of a job. I'm going to start with putting a little strand of duct tape around the bar. I'll put a little bit of duct tape on, cut a piece in half and put that on first to make sure that I don't, these don't scratch anything up. So I ended up going with electrician's tape here instead of duct tape. You can see I've got this kind of gritty paint on these crash bars, and that stinking duct tape would not stick to that to save my life. So the electrician's tape wasn't great, but once I got it going and obviously sticking to itself, it did better than the duct tape did. So next step, get these U-bolts clamped on and start moving forward. All right, I got the first side on, and now that I've got all that figured out, I'll show you how to do it. So start with taking these little end caps off. You won't be able to take them off once these nuts are off. And pull the U-bolt out and leave the washers there. And the bolts on here are 13 millimeters, so everything's pretty easy to figure out. I am putting Loctite on everything though, so I'm taking this apart, putting a little bit of Loctite in there so that things don't vibrate apart when I'm rolling down the road. So a little bit of Loctite. And I'll be good to go. So, back on here. Kind of line it up in the center and then tighten it down. That looks pretty good. All right, next thing to do is to pop this little plastic cap off the end of the actual foot peg with a knife or a screwdriver, and then pull the bolt out of it. And same thing, a little bit of Loctite. And then I can tighten this down. This is a 5 millimeter hex. And I am just lining this up exactly where the rubber pad is, where my bend is. Got that lined up pretty well there, pretty happy with that. My Allen key here is just barely long enough to get this done, but tighten this down as good as I can get it here. And looks pretty decent. So now it's just get the U-bolt on the bike. I'll put this plastic cap back in the end and get the U-bolt attached here. I'll try my darndest to get it the same exact place as the other side here. Also, before I tighten it completely down, I'll give it a look. But again, a little bit of Loctite on here, just in case it wants to loosen up. And I'll probably bring a 13mm wrench and a Allen key on my trip with me, just in case something wants to loosen up. Last time, like I said, when I was using those old foot pegs, and one all of a sudden just let go and threw my foot down almost on the highway. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that. So hopefully these will stay tight without any issues, and I'll be good through the whole trip. And give these an eyeball and see if they're somewhat close. Looks like maybe the right side, so the left side that you're seeing maybe just a hair farther down than the right one, so I'll raise it up just a touch and tighten them down. So I'm happy with how they look on both sides. They look like they're pretty even, so I'm just going to tighten this down and be ready to roll. All right, so last thing then is to put these little caps back on, and I think I'm good. Give it a little try here and see how it fits me. But first, a cup of tea. Now that I've got them on, I don't even mind that silver base, the mounting kit, because I've got this silver piece right here attached to my radiator. And so it just, there's silver accents all over this bike, and so it just kind of looks like it's made for it. So from up here they look pretty close. They're not exactly the same, but they're pretty close. And there we go. There's where I'll be switching up to save my butt. And this is good too, because not only does it support my foot, but I can put my calf on this part of the crash bar and just roll on down the road. So on a difficulty scale, it wasn't really that hard. Certainly much easier than the rocks risers that I put on, but I think these will be a big save to my backside. See you next time.